Greetings, Virgo. This one is for you. Hold on, I'm making a mess. That's you, Virgo. This is Tarot Lumination. This is your general report, September 2017. Okay, so we try to keep it simple here. No reversals, no jumpers, no flyers, no oracles. It's pretty bare bones, stripped down. I try to read it from the heart, so to speak. It's not a traditional tarot reading in that sense. And try to think of it as a journey, okay? The reading is a journey. We're just dealing with general energy. It's not a love and relationship. It's not specific for anything. It's just the energy, okay? I hope that makes sense. I had a few people write in saying, what do you mean? And I mean the energy. So I don't know what else to tell you. Energy is what it is. Maybe Google energy if you have to. So also, you know the drill. You've done it before. Read for your sun, moon, and rising. And I would invite you to also watch the Leo North Node playlist and also the Leo New Moon Eclipse playlist that we just did very recently. The North Node playlist is actually months old now, but it's still very relevant and probably even more relevant now than it was months ago. So also, before we'll shuffle a bit more in a moment, I just wanted to go over this. Now, please understand, we are in September. That's your season, Virgo. It's Virgo season, and the sun is right there, passing your so-called first house. You, your identity, yourself, your personality, how you appear to others, how you present yourself. And we are moving through September, that season, but we're still coming into September with the heavy, strong, powerful energies of the Leo North Node eclipse, which was happening in your, it is happening in your 12th house over here. So you might be feeling a lot of shifts and changes going on in your life regarding that energy, where your day-to-day life and habits and chores, tasks, ways of being, how you conduct yourself through the chores list of the day, that's changing, and having to find a new, more spiritual way of conducting oneself in a way that's actually quite vivid, quite expressive. Sometimes it's really hard to understand the energy of the 12th house. It has keywords associated with it: spirituality, universal love, divine understanding and connection. It's also a house considered like the house of sickness, endings, and sufferings. It's a house where we dump all our trash. It's like the dumpster out at the end of the street, or the trash heap at the backyard where nobody ever wants to go or do anything with it. It's just a place where all the stuff that is dead, useless, and gone is dumped. And the problem is sometimes that turns into toxic waste. It's a place of dreams and also delusions, okay? Like the reciprocal energy of the same thing, these beautiful, universal, lovely Neptunian dreams that can also be total fantasy and illusions, you know? And that's not very helpful, okay? Because Virgo likes practicality and real life, okay? So anyway, this is not an astrology reading. We're going to read tarot for you. Okay, let's get on with it. All right, people? Sorry about that. I rambled on a little bit. Cards were already well pre-shuffled in advance, but we're going to the very last second for you, Virgo. All right, here we go. We're going to cut. I'm going to read this as what I call a journey spread from the heart, all right? It's about getting through September, okay? So this would be the energy at the core, like the core of you, okay? And this is the energy you're bringing in to September. This could be legacy energy from years, or it could be with the last week or the last month or so. It could be very choppy, it could be exciting, and whatever it is. This is the ever-present now. This is the energy that you carry with you as you live through September, because every moment is the now, okay? Even though it's tomorrow or next week or the week after, it's still the present moment for you. So as you progress and actually consciously, deliberately move through the month, this would be your energy here. And obviously, when you start making the decision to move, like, oh, let's go out and get ice cream, people, and then you don't do anything, then nothing happens. But if you say, hey, people, let's go out and get ice cream, so you tap everybody on the shoulder, you say, hey, let's get in the minivan. No, you drive, I'll drive. Let's go to our favorite place, okay? It stays open till midnight. It'll be cool, it'll be fun. And then you take action and you do that. The moment you take action and do that, you're facing into the unknown and taking risks, no matter how well planned and ordered your life may be. Because you never actually know what's going to happen. Who knows? It might be shut when you get there at the ice cream for no reason. Or you might have a flat tire on the way, but still you go anyway. You take the risk. So moving forward, what's the healthiest, safest way to do that? On the understanding that there is no reward without the risk. So you're going to go anyway. You're going to live. You're going to evolve. You're going to live your life and just do it, okay? So the question is effectively how. Now, if you also like believe in things like the laws of attraction and how you create your own life through your decisions by your choices, then this would be a perfectly natural energy that would come to you in a way that makes total sense. Otherwise, it could feel like it's out of the blue, or it's just like fate coming at you, or just life that's coming at you, as opposed to what you've created. Either way, it's there. So over here with this little card, this is more about the energy of the hope and the fear. In other words, when you take the risk, deep down, you know there is risk, but deep down, you know there is reward. Either way, risk reward can translate into fear and hope. Okay? Hoping that things turn out a certain way, being scared that they don't turn out that certain way. And this is the momentum where it seems to be heading as the journey starts to unfold. And we're going to read the bottom card here in a minute, and that's going to be an indication of what I feel as the weather that surrounds the reading. There's your personal internal core vibe energy, but there's a prevailing weather as well. It's the same stuff that exists outside your front door, but I'm thinking of it as the energy of heaven, spiritual weather, so to speak, and you're going to make the best of it, okay? If it's crappy weather, you're going to make the best of it. If it's really awesome weather, you're going to make the best of it. Okay, you're not going to deny it. You're just going to live with it and deal with it. Can you see that I'm trying to make this look like a heart, okay? I'm trying to read from the heart, because without the heart energy, there's nothing, okay? So you have Four of Swords, okay? So it might be an indication, Virgo, that it's perfectly okay for you to indulge yourself a little bit in some self-healing, okay? Spiritual healing. You might really need it. You might have been beating yourself up for a decade without even realizing it, just being the awesome Virgo that you are, tending to be very humble and very much of service to others and life and the world around you, keeping things working in a way that works for everybody, not just you. But you might have overdone it, and maybe it's time for you to take a break and almost kind of go on a spiritual retreat. Okay? Let's have a look. What's the core vibe here? Okay. Well, somehow or other, you've been managing extremely well to deal with this. And it's probably because you've come out, a few years ago, coming out of the Virgo Pisces eclipse season. And that's done. That's past. It's history. We're moving on to the next chapter now about the Leo Aquarius season. So this is you, Virgo, doing a really, really, really good job of keeping your act together. On the understanding that it might look like so supremely easy to others from the outside, but they may not understand the tremendous alchemical forces that go on inside of you, Virgo, to do what it does to stay harmonious and balanced and maintain this equilibrium where it appears as though you just gracefully move through life, as though it's just a breeze, okay? The Temperance card here is also an indication of healing. A lot of self-healing is what I'm feeling here, Virgo. It probably is time for you to do a lot of self-healing or allow healing to come to you, okay? That would be a really, really, really good thing for you to do right now. And it might already be in play. You might have already brought this in by invocation. It's already happening. And you are now, let's say, at the early stages of enjoying and appreciating healing energy coming into your life. And actually doing a good job with it. Okay, not everybody does that. Some people are very uncomfortable with health and being healthy and being healing. Like they'll do anything to avoid healing, you know. But in the difference here with you, Virgo, is that it looks like you're consciously, deliberately walking into it. It's like checking yourself into a rehab center or something, or getting help and counseling to keep yourself tuned up, or being willing to open yourself with the others and your loved ones in a way that you are very, very sharing, very selfless, and they are there for you. Like they're carrying you as well. Okay, Virgo? So it's not always about you having to take care of everybody else. So that's beautiful. Where you're coming from. Okay, another power card here, strength. It might have taxed you to be where you are now. Was probably no easy task, and you might be very, very wiped out by your journey recently, and it would be perfectly okay for you to want to, check out and take a break, because if you've been conducting yourself like this in order to maintain this for so long, it's no wonder you might feel wiped out and that you deserve a spa treatment or something. So with this energy here, it could indicate, the way I'm feeling it is, for you, Virgo, it's that you're perfectly aware that you have had to bring your raw animal self into alignment with the highest spiritual expression of yourself in order to be truly, truly happy in this world. So, in other words, life isn't just one ending piece of drudgery after another, one piece of routine, one task followed by another task where it's all just a grind. What I'm feeling here with you, Virgo, is that you understand that it's more than that. It's a spiritual journey. It's a very beautiful experience and opportunity to have a chance to live here on this planet and endure for what we call a lifetime, whether it's a very short lifetime or an extended, long, long lifetime, whatever it is. It's an incredible privilege to be on this amazing planet and live the things that we live, whether you're having profound psychic experience and awareness, or whether you're enjoying the very, very elemental day-to-day process of living life. Anything from making the bed, or folding a sheet, or doing the dishes, or doing some artwork, or teaching children, or just conducting what needs to be done through life very, very effectively. And you might have been really enjoying that, but deep down also knowing that it's much more than that. It's a profound spiritual journey that we are enjoying here, and it's up to us to make the most of it. It's not about what can we get. In other words, what's that funny expression? Like, he who has the most when he dies wins. Have you ever heard that one? I mean, it's silly. You know what we're talking about. Like, how many cars do you have? How many degrees? How much money do you have? How many boyfriends and girlfriends have you had? How many wins have you had with this? Whatever it is. The real thing that in the end only really counts is the love that you bring. Okay? And somehow you seem to know that. And you've been living that accordingly, no matter how tough and how challenging it might have been. But we are being called to go to a new level now. But in order to do that properly, you might be the one who actually deserves a break. Okay? Let's have a look. What about the present? Okay. So, what I'm feeling is that this is an acknowledgement of you by others, of kind of how awesome you are in your own way, no matter how modest. There's an appreciation here, and it's like a humble appreciation. And it's also your own appreciation of others and your life and your world around you, where you have a really profound sense of gratitude toward the simple things in life around you, where you understand that you are a full participant and that you conduct yourself in an orderly, graceful, honorable way. And others get that. They understand that. They respect you for that. And it might be that you're kind of in a reciprocal environment where you are with people who are the same way. So it's mutually supportive. So in that way, Virgo, you could be quite fortunate in ways that a lot of the other signs might not be at this time. So let's take advantage of this And let's just say, well done, Virgo. You're doing a great job. We get it. We understand you. We appreciate you. You're awesome. We love you for being exactly who you are and how you're doing it. Thank you so much. But it's okay. You can take a break. You deserve a break. We'll be here when you get back. We will love you when you get back. And we know that you will love us when you get back. Okay? So that's what I'm feeling so far, Virgo. What about moving on as you actually like gain momentum into the month of September? Bam-o. Well, it might be that you're aware of this enough to the point where you're it's almost like you can allow yourself to indulge yourself. Does that make any sense? I hope so. Yeah, I'm feeling that it's very much connected with this card here, the Four of Swords, where, like, if this reading makes any sense to you, the way we said it, it would allow you to treat yourself, enjoy yourself, and allow the healing to flow. Allow this self-directed program of, let's say, deep inner healing to occur, where it's almost like, when you, let's just say, when you, let's say, let's create a scenario here. Let's say you understand, you get all this, and you decide, I am a Virgo and I do need a break. I really, really do. And the most honorable, loving thing I can do for myself and the rest of the planet is to love myself in a way that's most appropriate right now. And that means a lot of self-healing, spiritual advancement, allowing myself to absorb the healing energies that are available to me from others in a healing environment, and to celebrate that, to actually enjoy the process, actually really, really indulge and enjoy the process of being in that healing environment. It's almost like going on one of those retreat places where everyone else has made the same decision to be there at the same time as you, and you recognize that in each other. And so you have this compounding energy where everybody feeds off themselves and each other, and it makes the healing much more powerful. In other words, like you go to one of those yoga retreats and you get off on that really amazing journey where, that amazing experience where you are all healing together. And so you celebrate that, you know? You actually enjoy it. It's almost like you have a yoga healing party or something, you know? That's how I'm feeling this, okay? It sounds very strange the way I'm telling the story, Virgo, but that's what I'm feeling here for you, and it's what you deserve. So, to do this effectively in a way that it works so you can, like, own it and keep it, and it isn't something that vaporizes once you come out of the retreat, so to speak. Once you start healing yourself, you don't want to like go back to the old ways that might have triggered what needs to be healed in the first place. We want to stay evolved at this higher way of being, where you stay, let's say, reconditioned into Virgo Mark II, and you stay there. You don't regress. There's no going back here, especially with the eclipse energy. All right, Virgos? So how are you going to do that effectively? How are you going to keep it and own it? Okay, well, it's almost like, to me, it feels here like setting yourself the task of attaining mastery in this field of, do you see how we're relating to the swords energy here? It's like an attitude. It's like an attitude adjustment by saying, you know what? I'm not just going to go on this like self-loving journey, self-healing, self-appreciative journey, and share that myself with others and let them share themselves with me. I'm going to own it when I come out of it. I'm going to be the boss of it. I'm going to be the master. I'm going to be an authority on this stuff. I am going to be an arbiter. I'm going to be that person who actually walks the talk. And I will live that and honor that and respect that going forward. So in other words, it's like getting a total upgrade. In other words, to move effectively through September, treat yourself very, very kindly, very, very nicely, on the understanding that you are going through a massive spiritual upgrade, and it's going to work out just fine. And that in order not to lose it, so it doesn't just degenerate and fall apart as soon as you leave the healing environment, you're going to own that, incorporate that into your being, as though you've like been fully qualified. Let's say it was like going to a yoga not only a yoga retreat healing place, but it's also like a training place where you get certified and you become one of those. You actually become the healer, you become the master. Okay, so that's cool. So that could be a good way to go. I'm not telling you like you need to go out, Virgo, and become a yoga teacher. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just trying to set the story as an example about how to move through September in a way that is most effective for you, where you conduct yourself in a very, very self-loving, kind manner. You don't have to keep giving it away for everybody else. You now own some of it yourself, and you keep it for yourself, and you become more highly qualified, more loving, more self-loving, more able to love others than ever before. Okay? Yes, it's work, it is a task, but you are surrounded by peers, okay, who appreciate you. So what does this bring in? Okay, well, with the Page of Cups here, what I'm feeling is that as you go through this process of self-healing, it can expose you to you see the little cups energies here, the cups here, and the bizarre process about how water moves up and water moves down at an angle. It's baffling, but it's an indication that there's more to learn. And so what happens is with this, let's say, this spiritual evolution that's going on here, is you come to a realization that there is more to learn and there is more evolution to come. And even though you're going to make sure that you're fully qualified as you move through this, it's almost like an admission to oneself, like a very humble admission that the how can I put this, that the the person in authority, when you take on the crown and the robe, so to speak, it's in such a humble way that it's admitting to everyone else and the world around you and yourself and to yourself that there is still a degree of innocence in all of us, including yourself, no matter how high you rise in your own spiritual ascension, so to speak. There's always more to learn, always more to understand, especially when it comes to heart energy, especially when it comes to love, especially when it comes to the healing power of love, and how you can always, always, always improve the ways and the methods through which you can act as an instrument so that the healing power of love can move into you and through you and out of you. So you are a very effective transceiver. You are able to give and receive love effectively. And so in this process of going through your spiritual upgrade, the way we described from the beginning, you come to a realization that there's always more to learn. And that's good. It keeps you humble. It keeps you aware. You can't just go around saying, oh, I know it all. I am now spiritually evolved. Thanks. Now I can just chill. No, it's not like that at all. It's almost like the higher up you go, the steeper it gets. And the more rarefied the air, and the more solitary, the more lonely, and the more spacey and trippy it gets. Okay? So that's all we're talking about with this. So you don't have to freak out about it all. Okay? So with this energy here, let me go back to this a moment. An analogy I felt here was that, when human beings always set new boundaries, new 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 horizons for themselves, they're always seeking, better this, better that, higher, a new world record for swimming, a new world record for climbing a mountain, or a new world record for breathing underwater, or something like that. We're always pushing it and pushing it. And when we get to those very, very limits of our abilities and our endurance and stuff, that's when we kind of find out who we are and where our weaknesses where things are frail, where things start to fall apart. When rockets going up in outer space and you have wings and everything and air and gravity that keeps a sense of stability. But when you cross out into deep space, that stuff doesn't exist and everything just kind of goes like this. And like, how do you control that? And it becomes awkward. But it's the transition between those different levels that's hard to understand sometimes. You know, when they were the first stages of space flight, when they didn't know certain things were happening, like, what is this? What is this that's happening? All the greatest scientists in the world, and we still don't understand what's happening. So the only way you can understand it is to live through it and realize that there's an awful lot that we don't know still. But that's okay. We're human beings and we're here to grow and learn and evolve. So, on the understanding, with all this wonderful energy here of celebrating your new self unfolding, you're hoping that it kind of works out this way, but you're scared in case it doesn't. Let's have a look. Oh, look. Little Six of Cups. Beautiful. It's almost like Virgo's coming home to roost, so to speak. It's almost like you're hoping, it's almost like the hope that as you step into this like new upgrade, the spiritual evolution, so to speak, you get to, it's almost like tapping into like that soul person that you knew you were before you incarnated in this lifetime. And now you're having the chance to actually be that person with whom you contracted before you incarnated in this lifetime. I know it sounds like I'm completely tripping out of my head here, but please, I'm trying to articulate this for you in such a way that you understand, so that as you go through this process here, this journey, this unfolding, you actually turn into the that soul being that you knew existed deep, deep inside of you the moment before you incarnated. And now this is actually having a chance to happen. So it's like you become reconnected with your soul self from the past. Here in present time today, here in September 2017, you get the chance to reconnect with your soul that you already knew existed before you even came in here. And you had to live all this life up till now. No matter whether you're a teenager watching this or whether you're 85 years old, you're coming up to this point now where you get to reconnect with that pure soul energy, untainted by anything. And if you want to think of it as finding a soulmate, great, but this is not a relationship reading. Also, I'm sensing here that you might feel a little bit sad in case this, what we just described, doesn't happen, but I don't see any threat here, quite frankly. I think you're doing just fine and you're going to be just fine, because there is deep down a humble awareness that you are on an ever-growing spiritual journey, and it's going to be fine. So where does that take you? Where does that take us? Because this is very, very ethereal. This reading here feels very ethereal to me. Very spiritual, very ethereal, which probably is a good, match, considering we're talking about the 12th house energy of spirit and divinity. So let's have a look. Wow. This is almost like the 12th house card. This is almost like the Pisces card. This is almost like the Neptune card. This is the High Priestess. What it could indicate, what I'm feeling here, Virgo, let me say, what I'm feeling is that through September, you go through all this that we just described. I'm not going to read the whole thing again for you, but you get to this point where you realize that, oh my gosh, and it's like, I am that thing incarnated. I am an official, qualified, certified spiritual being. And I now have the credentials to conduct myself and carry myself that way. It doesn't mean I have to radically show off all about it. I just have to be that. And the High Priestess typically is very demure, very somber, very, very sober, very, very clear, very unobtrusive, and wouldn't hurt a fly. And yet deep beside her, deep behind her, is this massive, massive kingdom of spirit and awareness that, like, all of us wish we could know. And we're supposed to live here in this earth and have this earthly experience, but you, Virgo, have the privilege to be and carry this energy where you actually know what's behind the veil, because you've gone through it all and you're living through it all, and you have the authority, you have the credentials to do that and be that. So that's pretty awesome, Virgo. And it's just a question of allowing this to unfold for you. So that's a very big, bold, brave decision to do that. but I think you can handle it because that's what it's indicating here. And it looks like you're kind of already on path. So the question is just allowing it to unfold. To me, it's a very beautiful reading. I'm glad to have read this for you. I hope it makes sense to you. Virgo, if it sounds like complete nonsense, please read for your sun, moon, and rising, okay? And then see how this might fit in. As before, I invite you to watch the North Node Leo video playlist from much earlier. It's there somewhere on the playlist section for Tarot Illumination. And also watch the very recent Leo North Node playlist for the end of August 2017. All right. So please make the best of it. I'm happy to read for you, Virgo, and have a super, super September. This is your heart based journey reading. Thank you, thank you, thank you very much. Bye bye. That's you. Look at that. No, that's you. Look at that. Doopy doopy doo. Wow. Awesome. Bye bye.